We know that now more than ever, wealth managers need to differentiate their service and provide an individualised, even hyper-personalised solution for every customer, which clearly shows that the advisor has a real understanding of the customer's circumstances and their life goals. On top of this, and something we've really seen this year, is that during times of financial crisis, or at least financial uncertainty, people's circumstances can change quickly. Advisors have got to be able to react to these changes in circumstances quickly and efficiently and revise their recommendations accordingly. A good cash flow planning tool helps with this by allowing the advisor to consider the customer's entire financial situation holistically, provide them with comfort that there is a real understanding of how different life events will affect them, and is a great opportunity for the advisor to add value to their service and show the level of understanding and personalisation that customers are now expecting. I would say the main driver is the sheer complexity of conducting good cash flow planning with the level of detail required to make it truly valuable and real for the customer. And then, of course, further complexity is added once we take into account all of the regulatory requirements that now must be considered. So what does this mean? Well, a wide variety of assets across investments and properties, pensions, insurance policies and so on need to be taken into account alongside the appropriate tax considerations. And then on top of this, there are many additional factors to take into account, like inflation, market crashes and so on, which can have a major impact on outcomes. Without appropriate cash flow planning solutions, it's extremely difficult for advisors to effectively consider all of the influencing factors, tax rules, regulations, and so on. There are some great tools available in the market, but we have seen a tendency for some of them to veer too much towards complexity, so that only a well-trained expert can use them and then interpret the results to relate to the customer, or go the other way towards simplicity in terms of the considerations across assets and liabilities taken into account, available tax settings, what-if scenario functionality, and so on. And then from the firm's perspective, there is sometimes an inability, or at least difficulty, incorporating the wide range of information held about the customer in other systems or solutions, or later transferring the results to them. Anything requiring manual transference into or out of the system reduces efficiency and takes up valuable time for the advisor. To improve offerings, we believe that a better balance between complexity and simplicity needs to be found. The tools need to be easy to implement and able to incorporate inputs from any system to achieve maximum effectiveness. And they need to be easy for the advisor to use and allow them to easily articulate their ideas. If all of this is achieved, it should lead to the best possible experience and outcome for the customer. As well as being easy to use for the advisors and the functionality, user experience and value for them being clear so that usage of the tool is high, the solution needs to be easy for the firm to integrate, whether as a standalone solution, maybe as a light version on the website, or as is usually the case, fully integrated into the end-to-end advice process. All of the necessary inputs must be simple to bring in, whether it's from risk profiling questionnaires, the front end itself, or any other system the firm is using, such as CRM or wherever the maintenance data like capital market assumptions are held. This has to be a straightforward process which takes up minimal time and resources for both the firm and the advisor. As for why, without all of these components, the tool will not be as efficient and effective as it needs to be for the firm to achieve the goals for implementing it in the first place, for the advisor to see it as an opportunity to improve efficiency and add value in the advice process. And of course, without this, it won't provide the best experience and outcome for the customer. The cash flow planning tool should consider the full range of assets, liabilities, and circumstances and give the customer an accurate appraisal of whether they're on track for their desired lifestyle in retirement or for any goal or situation prior to that. A critical element is that all taxes and inflation are taken into consideration at all times and the net result is presented to the customer. This can potentially identify a range of options for the customer and opportunities for the advisor whilst providing a great user experience for both. To ensure that the firm gets the most out of the proposition, it needs to make sure that its advisors make use of all of the functionality and all available inputs to ensure that the advice provided to customers is as detailed and as accurate as it can possibly be. From aixigo's perspective, there are three critical elements: simplicity, efficiency, and completeness. The solution must be able to transform complex processes into user-friendly answers and save significant time for the advisor in doing so, and then transform pretty complex data and information into easily understandable and actionable ideas for the customer. It must also consider all of the customer's assets, liabilities, circumstances, and maybe even incorporate estate planning or consider other family circumstances. And to do this, not only does it need to be able to understand all of this data, it needs to very efficiently incorporate the information into the system, whether it comes from other back-end systems or is directly entered by the customer or the advisor. With a good cash flow planning solution, the answer should be all three. And when aixigo builds solutions for clients, we always take the experience of each of these parties into account. And of course, the three are very closely linked. If the solution is efficient for the firm to integrate, it should ensure that the advisor can easily use data pulled from different systems to provide results to the customer. And for the solution to provide real benefits to the advisor, then by definition, it must do the same for the customer, otherwise it's failed in its key objective. At a high level, the solution should make complex ideas easy to understand for the customer, increase efficiency for the advisor, allowing them to spend more time on value-adding activities, and ultimately increase sales and profitability for the firm.